I'm back with um, What is Theory and Why Should I Care? Part 3. So let me get my PowerPoint up and running again. Okay, we're talking about the fact that older adults tend to have living in senior housing like nursing homes have relatively little time to develop relationships. So let's look at the connection between few relationships and improving emotional well-being. Here we have an older adult, and the lines represent gradations in his social network. The interior line represents includes people that are very close to the older adult, and those near or outside the largest circle are on the periphery of his social network. So if an older adult, were to trim his or her social network down, the relationships they tend to get rid of are the ones that are on the periphery, on the outside of the social network. And the reason it's good is because they waste the time that they would otherwise invest in those relationships can be used more constructively. They could take that energy and time and invest it in the relationships that are most likely to pay off. And those are the ones in the innermost circle. These are the people that are going to be there for you when you really need them. So it makes sense to make the network smaller, but cultivate those close relationships. And research bears this out. Despite having smaller social networks, older adults' rates of feelings of closeness and compatibility with others is actually as good as, or if maybe even slightly better than that of younger people. So how might these theories influence programming? Just as a recap, activity theory: small social networks are viewed as a bad thing. So the implications are that planners should create programs that encourage large social networks. And if you go to a nursing home, you'll see lots of large groups of residents doing things like playing bingo, enjoying happy hour, holiday parties, all that kind of good stuff. Very typical. And if you've spent any time in a nursing home, you know what I mean. But let's think about the alternative: socio-emotional selectivity theory. Small social networks are a good thing, not a bad thing. Why are they good? Because people avoid the relationships that don't pay off, and they can invest that time and energy in the relationships that are more likely to, invest that energy in people that are going to be there for them when they really need it. So what are the implications? Planners should create programs that do not encourage large social networks. Instead, they should try to strengthen existing relationships with very close family and friends. For example, small groups that include the resident and his or her close family or friend doing things like having a meal, cooking, and anything else that families like to do together. So which theory should be used? This is the big question. Well, the best thing to do is to start looking at the research that examines how reliable the predictions play out. And the research on activity theory isn't so good. The results are mixed. But a recent study suggests that physical health plays a really important role in whether or not activity theory works or doesn't work. If people's physical health is poor, then activity theory generally doesn't work so good. On the other hand, the research supporting socio-emotional selectivity theory is very good, and specifically, the theory seems to be applicable to older adults. So we're almost done. Back in just a